First we had Rebecca Ferguson, and then who could forget One Direction? Now the British X Factor invasion continues this week with Olly Murs, the latest retro pop prince on the block. We caught up with him to find out why all these Brit pop stars are heading our way.
I think it was just really it's been a good year for British music across the world. I don't think it's just us and the X Factor. I think if you look at here in Australia, you've had Professor Green over here, you've had Example, I think you've had Ed Sheeran, you've had Adele, you've had Jessie J, Tiny Temper. I think it's been over the last year or so, it's been a course of a lot of British music going across the globe. And I think that obviously it's just myself, Rebecca and One Direction have just come over at the right time, really, just trying to promote our record at this point. It's quite a good time of the year, I think, to come over here, and schedule-wise, I've got time to come over as well. But yeah,
because you're a busy boy.
I don't think I'm having the same impact as One Direction have, but I'm getting there slowly but surely. I can't see you're not yourself, even when you're here.
But Olly's return to Sydney has a much greater sentimental value. He spent 3 months backpacking here in 2008. And it's where he decided to pursue a career in music.
It's nice to come over, you know, to travel the world and your music to get played in different countries is incredible. I think for me though, coming to Sydney and being here in Australia is much more sentimental to me, because this was when, for me, you know, my life was quite a low. It was quite a point where I was like, I didn't really know who I wanted to be, what I wanted to do in my life.
And when we spoke, you said that the travelling thing, coming here, really kind of refocused you on giving singing a red hot go.
I actually sat there with a piece of paper, with a pen, and I said, right, okay, what do I, what's the first thing? Because I wanted to write down what I wanted to do in my life and what I didn't want to do, and it was like, okay, what? So, lying down, like crossed it over. What was the first thing that came into my head that I wanted to do? And they said that's the first thing that you should instinctively, and that was music. I just put music straight down, singing, and I was like, oh. And I sort of listed loads of stuff that I didn't want to do and what I did want to do. And every time that I did it in the course of the months or so, it was always music that was the first thing that I put down. It was sort of subconsciously that was something I really wanted to pursue.
Sydney was also where Olly discovered the joys of goon.
Everyone was drinking wine, which was called, it was out the bag, isn't it? And you have the little funnel at the top. But yeah, and I remember drinking lots of that when I was over here. Yeah, that was kind of like, that was the cheapest drink you could get. I think it was cheaper than tap water. It was like ridiculous. We used to get bags of the stuff. It became a second drink. It just became just get some goon out. Glug, 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 glug. But it was good though. I enjoyed it. It was good. It was a good experience, because I never really, you know, this was a good Australian experience to drink goon, because I've never really been a wine drinker before, but I sort of came back from Australia with like a bit of an alcoholic. Mum, where's the wine? Where's the bottles of wine? Yeah.
Now, have you had any unfortunate wardrobe malfunctions in recent months?
I know where you're going with this. I can tell where you're going with this.
You have a bit of a habit of splitting your pants,
well,
Mr.
there's
Murs.
been 2 occasions. There was one of them we did, I think it was Sport Relief recently, and I did a warm-up video. Have you seen that video clip?
Yes, I have.
And I'm wearing a pair of chinos. For people who are watching this going, what is he talking about? Basically, Sport Relief is a big charity in the UK. We do it every 2 years it comes on. And it's always the year of the World Cup and big events, Olympics, stuff like that. Yeah. So everyone does something funny for money. And so I was doing this, telling people how to warm up for sport. So, you know, you put the hamstring stretches, the quads, everything, you know, bop, 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 bop. And obviously I went, there's a groin stretch that I could show you, but I'm not sure if I want to do it. Do you know what? I'll do it for you. So I go down on my groin area, pull my groin apart, and as I go down, my whole chino just pops open. It was just, fortunately, that I was wearing a pair of pants that day, because it would have been
fortunately!
It would have been a hideous sight.
Olly Murs hopes to return to Australia to tour by the end of the year, but in the meantime, you can catch him performing an awesome acoustic version of his hit Heart Skips a Beat just for us at thetelegraph.com.au. This is Kathy McCabe for thetelegraph.com.au.